It's the boy Coda, and this is live streaming daily. Say I blow up. Alright, you're welcome, man. This is another day, and this happens to be our 25th day. Come on, that's massive. That's huge, man. I'm gonna lie. And this is, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Chee. Bro, I'm hyper, man. It's not easy. Like our 25th day, and that's huge. And I owe everything to God. So, alright, today is love and relationship Wednesdays, and today we're talking about love and relationship, and yeah, topic for today is common relationship mistakes to avoid. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Believe in me, there are mistakes you don't want to make in your relationships, and there are mistakes also you don't want to make in marriage, because wherever you start in your relationship before your marriage, if you don't like guide yourself, if you don't like discipline yourself, if you don't like cut these things up, they will also affect your marriage. So yeah, we'll begin today in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Alright, without further ado, we'll be going straight up, So yeah, I'll just give like a little background on relationship so you understand what relationship means before I go ahead. Relationship, that's in this context, like I said, common relationship mistakes to avoid. This is very vital. So relationship in the context of love and romance, because you understand the relationship, they want to stay, they want to be committed to, not just a fling. That's why I said in context of love and romance. It refers to the emotional, intimate, and personal connection between two individuals who share a deep affection and commitment to each other. And this connection encompasses various aspects. Before I go ahead, I'm sorry we are starting a bit late, but this is a session that I would want you to be active. At least stay for a while, because believe me, you will learn some things, and you will learn some things. So yeah, this connection encompasses various aspects. Now I'm talking about relationship, including emotional bonding, that is strong emotional attachment, trust, and understanding between partners. Intimacy, that is the physical, emotional, and spiritual closeness, including sexual intimacy. Communication, that is open, honest, and respectful exchange of thoughts, feelings, and desires. Mutual support, that is encouragement, comfort, and support in times of need. Trust, reliability, loyalty, and faith in each other's words and actions. I'm just giving a background of relationship and some entities that makes up relationship, you understand. Compromise and teamwork, that is collaborative problem solving and finding common ground. Emotional intelligence, that is empathy, active listening, and understanding each other's emotions. I've mentioned some of these things in my previous class or our previous session, so I'm just giving like a recap. Then personal growth, that is encouraging individual development and progress. Then love, which encompasses or surpasses everything, all things, and entails unconditional acceptance, affection, and devotion to each other. Now, in a romantic relationship, or in a relationship that involves love and romance, not just a fling, like I said, we are talking about serious things here. In a romantic relationship, partners strive to build a life together, sharing experiences, joys, and challenges, while nurturing their love and connection. Now, this is on the basis of relationship. Before I go ahead, now I'm gonna give you some or what mistake means, so you understand meaning of mistake in the context of today's topic, which is common relationship mistakes to avoid. Mistakes are errors or faults, unintentional acts or decisions. In quotes, unintentional acts or decisions. That's why there are mistakes here. Wrong choices or judgments, unsuccessful attempts or failures, then learning opportunities for growth and improvement. So these are some definitions or some highlights of what mistakes are. Now, in the context of relationship as our topic today, which is common relationship mistakes to avoid. Common relationship mistakes you should know at the back of your mind and at the back of your heart. In your mind, in your mind, in your head. That is, you should know all these things by heart, so that you will not make such mistakes in your relationship, because they can ruin your relationship and they can make your relationship sour. So in the context of relationships, mistakes can be misunderstandings, miscommunications, or hurtful actions that can cause harm and strain the relationship. Now I'm defining mistake in a relationship context. I'll come again. In the context of relationships, mistakes can be misunderstandings, they can be miscommunications, or hurtful actions that cause harm and they strain the relationship. Recognizing and learning from mistakes can help partners grow and strengthen their relationship. So it's one thing to make a mistakes. Sorry, it's one thing to make a mistake, or it's one thing to make mistakes. It's another thing to learn through your mistakes, not just making the mistakes and letting them slide. It's another thing to learn through your mistakes and help yourself and your partner grow and strengthen your relationship based on your learning and your knowledge of the mistakes you've learned, or your learning and your knowledge of the mess ups you've had. You understand? So the question of now is you recognizing your mistake and learning from your mistake. So these two things, that is the recognition one and the learning two, will help you and your partner grow and strengthen your relationship. Because just like you offend your friend and your friend is pissed, and now you realize, oh yeah, my friend is pissed. You have learned that, okay, doing this next time may spoil the mood of a friend, or doing this next time may get your partner, sorry, your friend pissed. You've learned that. Then the next thing you do, you go and say, okay, I'm on no reason, I'm sorry, or bro, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, or hey sis, or hey girl, or why your friend is, I'm sorry. So you realize your mistake one. You've learned that, okay, such things I shouldn't repeat them, because you may get my friend pissed or put my friend in a position that you wouldn't like. So that's the same thing with relationship. You understand? So the question of common relationship mistakes to avoid, it's a vital topic. It's very vital, because relationship is like life, so there are ups and downs. But then you shouldn't just have a relationship thriving on the downs, 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 downs. And sometimes some of these downs are due to mistakes that and these mistakes weren't properly questioned, or rather weren't properly met. There's sometimes you make mistakes and you don't know how to atone for your sins, not sins but like your mistakes. So sometimes relationship goes sour, or you see the relationship bond you guys have, or the foundation you guys have built, scattering or going sour or just falling apart because someone made mistake, or one of the party or either of the party made mistake and didn't know how to recognize the mistake he or she made. And even if they recognize the mistake he or she made, they didn't learn through those mistakes, and probably it's occurred and occurred and occurred. Because sometimes what makes some people tired of relationship is when the other party or either of the party frequently does something on and over and on, again and again, even after corrections or telling the partner that I don't like this thing. So sometimes you use your head. It's like life. It's like solving a case or solving mathematics. Sometimes you use your head. If you use the wrong formula, you may get it wrong. But now the good thing about love and relationship is that there's no a particular formula, because what may work for me may not work for you. But now there are some principles, there are some guidelines, there are some general phenomenon that applies to everybody, no matter even if the person comes from Earth X, how we see in Clark Kent, or the person is an alien. As far as the person applies these principles or guidelines about love and relationship, and relationship between one another, your relationship is smooth. So the question of common relationship mistakes to avoid is a vital topic, and it's one that can make a very huge difference between a harmonious, thriving partnership or relationship and a tumultuous, draining one. Tumultuous is like draining, or a bad relationship, or a stressing relationship, or a relationship filled with misunderstandings, quarrels, and stuff. So there's a huge difference between a successful and a healthy relationship and an unsuccessful and an unhealthy relationship. And that thin line, or that thin difference, or that silver line between both of them are mistakes. Mistakes happened, and these mistakes were not properly met, or these mistakes were not properly, giving the right approach or giving the right effects, to alter the mistakes or atoned properly. So that thin line between a healthy relationship and an unhealthy relationship are mistakes that could have been avoided, or are mistakes that were done and were not properly recognized and learnt and met. So yeah, number one of these mistakes is lack of communication. Just as communication is like the most essential part of a successful relationship, number one mistake you should avoid in your relationship is lack of communication. Now, what is lack of communication? When you don't know how to command, your partner's presence, when you don't know how to relate things going through you or things you are going through to your partner, when you don't know how to communicate in a way that your partner will not only just not feel like he or she just hearing you, but also listening to you and understanding you. When you don't keep on assuming things, one of the things that ruin relationship are assumptions. Jesus Christ. Leave assumptions for philosophers. Leave assumptions for philosophers. One of the things that ruins relationship mostly, believe in me, they are assumptions, because when you keep assuming and assuming things that are not even happening or things that are not even in the scene to get you thinking, and when it gets you overthinking, only you think that he did this, she did that, he did this, even the one that he did not do, or the one that she did not do, you will think it because you've crowded your thoughts, you've crowded your mind. So your mind now is jam packed, it's filled with a lot of things. So lack of communication is one of the major mistakes that can ruin a relationship, and is meant to be avoided. Now, let me give us a scenario. Let me give you guys a scenario. Imagine a beautiful garden filled with vibrant flowers and lush greens or greenery. If the gardener neglects to water or nurture it, the garden withers and dies, yeah? Just like you have a farm or you have a garden and you have beautiful flowers, and now you don't trim the flowers, you don't go steadily or frequently or daily to remove the thorns from the flowers, you don't water them. How do you feel, or how do you think your flower will become very nice or sprout beautifully? Or how do you think your garden will sprout beautifully or become very green? That's just how it is with relationship. That's just how it is with communication. If you're in a relationship, there's a great need for constant communication. There's a great need for constant interaction. Avoid assuming your partner knows what you are thinking or feeling. There's no way. We are all humans, you feel me? Empathy now is good because sometimes, and when there's intimacy in your relationship, and when there's a good or positive bond in your relationship, and you guys love yourself so well, your partner can have a clue or have an idea when you're not feeling so good. Or your partner can have a vibe that, okay, babe, what's up now? Or your girl may be like, babe, what's up? You're not feeling so good. Is everything all right? That's normal. That's in a relationship. You guys have a bond. You feel me? There's intimacy. But now you shouldn't just assume. Communication should be constant. There shouldn't be a breach, even when you guys are misunderstanding yourselves, or when you guys are in dispute or quarreling. There shouldn't be lack of communication, because see, once you guys give yourself a bridge to your communication, that misunderstanding may grow to become a conflict. And when a misunderstanding grows to become a conflict, it will be harder to curtail. It will be harder for you guys to come back to the basic understanding you guys had, because now it's no longer a misunderstanding. It's not like I misunderstood you. Now it's a full blown conflict. It's not like a big war between yourselves. You get? I know when it seems like you're in a war with somebody, you wouldn't want to be the first person to be like, I don't want to condescend. Now, pride, ego, everything will come. Stubbornness, stubbornness will come. Now, you forget the fact that it's your relationship first before yourself. You forget the fact that it's your relationship first before your pride. Now, that's one good thing about constant communications. Even when the going gets cool or tough, the communication should be constant. Avoid assumption. Avoid assuming your partner knows what you're thinking or feeling. Instead, express yourself openly and honestly, and listen actively to their needs. Now, one thing is you being open, and the other thing is you expressing yourself honestly. And now, the last thing is you listening actively to your partner's needs. You yourself, you'll be open. One, you yourself, you have to be honest. Now, this is vice versa, both from your partner. If you're the one sharing, be open while you're sharing, and be honest while you're sharing. The other partner, your partner, while your partner is sharing, you listen. Don't just be nodding your head. Don't go about pressing phone. Don't be on Instagram. Don't be on TikTok. Don't be scrolling on YouTube, watching videos or shorts. Listen attentively, because that's the time that your partner becomes vulnerable the most. And the most beautiful of relationships are the ones that vulnerability thrives. And your partner can only be vulnerable if you listen to him or you listen to her. actively to their needs. That's the time you understand better, because it's through the needs of humans that you understand a person's um mood or a person's situation. Because if I'm hungry now, the mood or the vibe I will give you, you know that I want to chop. And if you buy me food now, you get me food, or you make the atmosphere understandable that, okay, let's find something to cook. You understand? Now, you've not only allowed me to share myself, but now you didn't like condemn me or judge me or tell me now every time you're hungry. But now you created the atmosphere to make it seem like, okay, yes, let us have something to eat. Now you've listened actively to the person's needs, and in that way, it's a beautiful communication, because a communication can be called a communication when there is no feedback, when there's no positive feedback. You can't say you just can't tell your partner, but I've told you not to be doing this, I've told you not to be doing this, I've told you not to be doing this, until you have communicated. You haven't communicated, because even if you have told the person not to do this, there would have been a reason why the person did that. And it could be intentional, and sometimes it could be unintentional, it could be a mistake. So there's how you communicate to them, there's how you let them know that, bro, I've told you now. Why now? You safe. You can just throw some jokes, some tantrums, And every time that you just shout, you can make your point made, or you can make your point known without shouting. It's not everything you shout. Sometimes when you shout, if you don't make any point, because it's your anger talking rather than your emotions. I don't know if you get that. It's your anger talking rather than your emotions, in the sense that now you are angry. So you're either speaking from a point of extreme or extremity or extreme city or an extreme city. You shall understand the vibe. You are speaking from a point that is not used, that your partner is not used to. So it's not everything that you communicate with anger. Anger will not change anything. Anger will only spoil things the more. So even if you are pissed, communicate openly and in love, because it's your relationship first, even before your anger, even before the way you are feeling. You understand? So number one is lack of communication. That's why I see that I buttress on the point so well and so much. And number two mistake to avoid is unresolved conflict. Now, unresolved conflict, like I mentioned, it's through misunderstanding that wasn't curtailed, a misunderstanding that was not amicably and mutually settled. That's when it leads to conflict. Conflicts are inevitable in a relationship, but sometimes conflicts are evitable when you handle misunderstandings well, when you handle misunderstandings mutually, when you handle misunderstandings amicably, openly, and honestly. Conflicts are evitable. But the general knowledge, people feel conflicts are inevitable. And in the side of our session today, I may tell you conflicts are inevitable. But if you curtail misunderstandings, if you meet misunderstandings and you guys understand yourself after the misunderstanding, it won't it won't like grow to conflict. Conflict is a full blown misunderstanding. You get. So it said conflicts are inevitable, but it's how you handle them that matters. You know, don't let resentment simmer and boil over into full blown arguments. Like I mentioned earlier, misunderstanding sometimes starts from very childish, very little, like very small thing that sometimes if you sit back down and be like, okay, wait, oh, is it because of this thing that we're just shouting, you realize it's not worth it, or it isn't worth it. So don't let resentment simmer and boil over into full blown arguments. Address issues as they arise. Again, with empathy and understanding. If peradventure you and your partner happen to argue or something, buttress the issue immediately. Don't allow it to say tomorrow. Don't sleep on issues. Don't sleep on misunderstandings. Don't sleep on disputes. It's your relationship first before your feelings. It's us before self. It's we before me. It's we before you. You understand? So address issues as they happen. Address issues immediately. Don't allow them to linger, because when they linger, that's when everything we can just spoil. You understand? So address issues as they arise, and don't forget, address them with empathy and understanding. Yeah, hear from your partner their point of view, and your partner should also hear from you your point of view, and you guys meet each other on the point of views, but then one view, so that you guys understand yourselves. Remember, conflicts can strengthen your bond if resolved constructively. That's the beautiful thing about conflicts. That's the beautiful thing about misunderstandings. When you have a misunderstanding with your friend, in this case, when you have a misunderstanding with your partner, and you guys address these issues beautifully, As a result of that conflict that you guys were able to solve, you guys will have a greater bond. Believe you me, your intimacy, if your intimacy level was on a scale of 20 over 100, the fact that you guys were able to address that conflict, your intimacy level can scale to like 65. And I kid you not, because you least love somebody when they are pissed, or you least love somebody when you are pissed at them, or you least love somebody when you're angry at them. Now, let's say you and your partner, you guys get angry or get pissed at each other, or you guys misunderstand yourselves. Now, amidst these misunderstandings, you guys were able to address the issue amicably, beautifully, with empathy and understanding, openly. Believe in me, yeah, the way your love for yourselves will increase, because you didn't let the anger get the best of you. You didn't let yourself get the best over your relationship, because you guys were able to address the issue. So conflicts, when resolved beautifully, when resolved constructively, can strengthen the bond of a relationship. So that's number two. And that mistake to avoid is unrealistic expectations. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, God. But then it's unrealistic expectations. Just like sometimes in life we fail to achieve something because we have stupidly, incredibly unrealistic expectations of how things are meant to happen. That's how it seems in a relationship. There are some girls, there are some guys that see they live in fantasy world, like they're no longer on this earth. They live in their head. They imagine things that are unreal. They imagine their relationship that the guy will just fly like Superman, and before he comes, he just like throw 72 cartwheels and bring them food and bring them food or stuff like that. No, there are unrealistic expectations. There are things that are unreal. There are things that are not natural. There are some things that you yourself, you don't do. You get, and some of these things can affect your relationship, or some of these things can, give your relationship a kind of unreal vibe. You understand? So, one thing you have to know in a relationship is that no one is perfect. And expecting your partner to be so can lead to disappointment and frustration. Everybody is bound to make errors. Everybody is bound to make mistakes. Everybody are bound to fuck up. I'm sorry for my vulgar. Everybody is bound to mess up. You get, that's something you should have at the back of your mind. That's something you should have registered in your heart. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is 100. You understand? Even when Jesus was on earth, it's not everybody that liked him. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, they didn't like him. You understand? So in a relationship, you don't have unrealistic expectations of your partner. You know, if not, it will lead to disappointment and frustration. Embrace their quirks or their quirks and imperfections. You understand? Just as you would want them to accept yours, there are some flaws that you don't want them to. There are some flaws that you have that you want them to accept. Same thing for you also. Accept their flaws or accept their quirks and imperfections, because you shouldn't focus on just their flaws, or you shouldn't focus on their imperfections. Instead, focus on growth and learning together. Rather than focusing on their imperfections, rather than focusing on their flaws, which they themselves may be trying to overcome, and maybe constant reminder through your constant focus on them may reduce the pressure that are trying to come out of that thing. So focus on your growth and learning together, rather than trying to change each other. It's not tired that one your boss, you just remove it. We are humans. Even if we will change, it's a gradual process. It may take you a while. And if it's a flaw that is not really something that would affect your relationship greatly or affect your peace greatly, then what's the point of reminding them about their flaws? That would only make your relationship a mess, or make your relationship give a distance to your relationship or between you and your partner. So focus more on growth and learning together, because when you learn about yourself, believe in me, you have the best relationship. Because when you learn about somebody that you are in love with, you don't just become their partner, you become their friend. And when you are friends with someone that you are in love with, believe me, that's like the best of feeling, because you see how you be in love and same time you have a bestie. Yeah? That's the same time you're in love with your partner and your partner happens to be your friend again. Come on, your relationship will be beautiful. So yeah, um, allow those your unrealistic expectations to rest, please. And that mistake is neglecting intimacy. I mentioned earlier some of these points. One leads to the other, or they're related or embedded in themselves. So neglecting intimacy. Intimacy is the glue. Intimacy is like a key. It's like a padlock that when you padlock a gate or you padlock a locker, it's somewhat secured because you need other things like to lock the door. But intimacy is like the padlock of a relationship. It secures, it's like the glue that holds your relationship together. It's not just about physical intimacy now, not the mushy mushy, you hold yourself, you lick your ear, lick your eye, lick your toenail. I'm sorry for that. That was shit. But some persons, that's their what they call it. Jiggy help me, what is it called? All those like some people like to lick fingers. Fetish. Thank you, my brother. So basically that's their fetish. Yeah, but now it's not just about physical intimacy. You understand? Emotional connection. Emotional connection first before physical intimacy. You feel me? It's the emotional connection that will direct how that physical intimacy itself will go. When you're emotionally connected with your partner, see, sometimes you don't need to tell your partner that after now, let's go into the room now. You just use eye, you just you understand? You just play around and they already understand. There's some things you don't even need to ask for. They already know you need them because there's the emotional connection and things. I don't mean just material things. Sometimes you may need emotional comfort. Sometimes you may need mental comfort, psychological comfort. Relationships are beyond the physical and material. You understand? It extends beyond that. So, how do you grow your intimacy? You prioritize quality time with your partner. You engage in activities that bring you joy and bring your partner joy. Cultivate a deep sense of trust and vulnerability. Some people are scared to be vulnerable. Believe you me, there are times that I'm really scared also to be vulnerable. You know why? I don't want to make it seem like if I'm committing to somebody and the person is not reciprocating. So when we feel like that or feel that way, we get scared to be vulnerable. But for you to have a beautiful relationship now, that's when you're in a relationship, not when you are trying or you're liking somebody or cutting somebody eye. When you're in a relationship with somebody, believe me, you have to be vulnerable. You can't do without being vulnerable. If not, you wouldn't have the best of your partner and you wouldn't show or reveal the best of yourself to your partner. So, um, grooming intimacy and emotional connection will cultivate a deep sense of trust and vulnerability. So that's another mistake to avoid, neglecting intimacy. So now I'm giving you the mistakes. I'm also giving you a way to avoid the mistakes so that we don't waste time. Another mistake is not respecting boundaries. As humans, even excuse me, even amongst your siblings, even amongst your parents, you need boundaries. Every human needs boundaries. Everybody needs boundaries. Even in relationship as well, you should respect your partner's boundaries and you should give your partner boundaries. So not respecting boundaries is another mistake that can ruin your relationship. Now, it's like a dance between two partners, a dance between probably a salsa dancers or ballet dancers or what is the other one? Uh, okay, I'll remember it. But then it's like a dance between two salsa partners. You wouldn't go extreme like beyond the strength your partner can go because you have strength or you are charged up. You wouldn't go beyond her strength or his strength because if you go beyond um just your partner's strength, the dance will not be nice again. There won't be synergy. You watching it be like, what are these two doing? You get bored because now the synergy has left the group chat. The synergy has left the mix. Now it's just about strength. But now when you recognize, okay, yes, we are in this together. Don't worry, flow with me. I flow with you. Don't worry, move with me. Don't worry, let's flow with the rhythm. Don't worry, let's flow with the music. That's just how a relationship is. You have to respect your partner's boundaries. Don't overstep. Don't disregard your partner's boundaries. If not, believe in me, you risking your relationship. You are risking damaging the trust and harmony in your relationship. So respect your partner's boundaries. And in relationship as well, aside the fact that, or not because I'm saying you should respect your partner's boundaries, your partner now, you now be doing something shitty. No, you yourself, or as a partner, or as a guy, or as a girl, don't do stuff that you know will get your partner pissed As a guy, don't do stuff that you know that you get your girl pissed. As a girl, don't do stuff that you know you get your guy pissed. All in the name of why are you not respecting my boundaries? Why would you check my stuff? Why would you check my bag? Why would you go through my phone? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So instead of asking those questions and looking for somebody to answer those questions because you don't want to learn the answer to those questions, and you don't want to be in a scenario where you start asking those questions because anything that makes you ask those questions, just know that your relationship is losing its grip. So don't do stuff that will make your partner question your loyalty. Don't do stuff that will make your partner question the trust he or she has in you. Don't do stuff that will make your partner question if you're still committed to the relationship or committed in a relationship. So everything should be mutual. So even as you're respecting your partner's boundaries, and by respecting your partner's boundaries, not to ruin their trust and the harmony in the relationship, you yourself don't do stuff that will make your partner question your trust and your loyalty, so that your boundaries as well can be respected. So another mistake is not respecting boundaries. The next one is not prioritizing trust. This is why I said everything is related, not prioritizing trust. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Now, what can you do? Be reliable. You can't just expect your partner to be reliable when you yourself you are not reliable. So for trust to thrive, both parties have to be reliable. Reliable. So be reliable, be honest, and be transparent in your words and actions. Don't say one thing and mean the other. Don't say yes and mean no. Don't say no and mean yes. Be transparent. Whatever it is, stand by your word. Have integrity. Integrity is not only about in money or in business, even in relationship. Have integrity. So be transparent in your words and your actions. Avoid secrets. Jesus, secrets only mess your relationship up. Avoid secrets, avoid lies, avoid betrayals. They can erode your trust and leave scars that, believe you me, may not be able to heal. So in a relationship, you should prioritize trust, because one of the mistakes or common mistakes to avoid in relationship is not prioritizing trust. So trust in your partner, have faith in your partner, because trust is the foundation of. Excuse me, give me a second. I better not plug this thing again. Sorry, my light went off. Damn, she's low. So not prioritizing trust would affect your relationship. Be reliable, be honest, transparent in your words and actions. Avoid secret lies and betrayals, which can erode trust and leave scars. And that mistake is not embracing growth. Now, like I said, as life is a journey, relationship is equally a journey. Much I don't like this thing. As life is a journey, relationship is equally a journey. It's not a destination. Now, whilst in the relationship, you guys are growing. Whilst in the relationship, your moods are changing. You guys are realizing different things about yourselves. So when you don't embrace growth in your relationship, it will affect your relationship. So another mistake is not embracing growth. Don't stagnate yourself by stagnating your partner, because if you don't want to grow, or if you're not willing to change, it's like you stagnating yourself, and you may be in turn stagnating your partner. You get, so don't stagnate or become complacent. Instead, challenge each other to become the best versions of yourself. You understand? When you challenge each other to become the best versions of yourself, individually, you don't only become the better version of yourself, but for the sake of your relationship, you also become the better version of yourselves, and you guys will enjoy your relationship better. So relationships is a journey, it's not a destination. You get, so embrace the growth, learn through the process, evolve together. That's where evolution comes. Evolve together, so you have a fantastic relationship. Another one is not practicing forgiveness. Forgiveness is very delicate in a relationship. If a relationship has to thrive, you guys have to be ready to forgive yourself. There are some mess ups that your partner will mess up, and bro, you really love this person. The only way you can have this relationship work again is practicing forgiveness. That's why I said no matter how you try to respect boundaries in a relationship, because not respecting boundaries will ruin your relationship or would affect your relationship. You yourself don't do stuff that will make your partner question your trust or your loyalty. You get, so that now being a scenario where you be asking your partner, so you cannot forgive me for this thing, for that thing. So limit yourself, groom yourself, discipline yourself, so that you won't later say, had I know, I wouldn't have done this. You understand? But then not practicing forgiveness is another mistake that should be avoided. If not, it will ruin your relationship, because you have to be able to forgive your partner. Yes, holding grudges and resentments would only weigh heavily on the relationship. Sometimes when someone messes up, your friend or your partner messes up, and you don't want to forgive, believe you me, you're hurting yourself more, because constantly you'll be thinking about it. You have grudges, these grudges will grow to resentment, and when you start resenting the one you love, Jesus, relationship will dry down. Relationship will just scatter. So you should practice forgiveness to enable your relationship stay on the light, and try to let go of past hurts. Sometimes it's not easy, but at least for the sake of your relationship and for the sake of the person you love, practice letting go of past hurts, and for your partner's sake. Not for your partner's sake, like I mentioned, but for your sanity, you get, and for your peace. Because if you are carrying grudges in your heart, the person that you are beefing may not even know, and your partner may feel okay. You guys are cool, but you are having grudges, so it will affect you. So for your own health, just try to practice forgiveness. Another mistake is not showing appreciation. When you don't show appreciation, like we normally say in our gratitude session on Sundays, gratitude should be a lifestyle. And now I see this gratitude now is coming in in love and relationship again. So, and that mistake you shouldn't allow linger in your relationship is not showing appreciation. Gratitude and appreciation are essential in relationships. So make an effort to acknowledge and celebrate your partner's efforts, no matter how small, no matter how little, no matter the progress, no matter the step. Celebrate your partner's little wins, and no matter what they do for you, no matter how chice, no matter how small, appreciate, show that appreciation, because it will, like I always say during our gratitude sessions on Sundays, that gratitude opens door for more blessings. Because if your partner throws a small party for you, bro, believe me, the person needs it from his or her heart. Because if there was more the person could do, the fact that they were able to do that little, they'll be able to do more. And showing appreciation will go a lot, like more than you think. It will encourage the person, to motivate the person to do better, and to make the person happy. So it opens doors for blessings, and it opens door for peace also in your relationship. So they are essential efforts to show appreciation. So another common mistake to avoid in relationship is not embracing each other's quirks. Now I mentioned something about unrealistic expectations, and I also mentioned something about not embracing growth. Now another mistake you should avoid is not embracing each other's quirks. Embrace the unique qualities and quirks that make your partner special. Avoid trying to change them to fit your ideal. There's some things that some people have that are unique to them. To you, it may feel like a flaw or a mistake at first, but if you reason it on another level, you realize that okay, this stuff makes them unique. And instead of trying to criticize them about it, accept it, embrace it. Because when you embrace it, you see the better version of them, and you enjoy them better, and you enjoy your relationship better. So embrace the unique qualities and quirks that make your partner special, and avoid trying to change them to fit your ideal. You know, you shouldn't have ideal is what is in your head. Like I said, don't have unrealistic expectations. Don't live in a fantasy world. Don't get me wrong, you can have idea of how you want your woman to be. You can have idea of how you want your man to be. Your ideal man or your ideal woman. Understand? But now when you're in a relationship and you notice some things or some quirks or some little imperfections and flaws, don't criticize them or condemn them over those little quirks, over those little flaws. Don't condemn them. Don't judge them unreally. You understand? Learn to love them, because when someone has a flaw, yeah, and you overshadow them with love, like you love them wholeheartedly, believe me, it will be easier for that flaw to turn around, or for that flaw to like cease or reduce, or to be easier for them to learn through and grow through that flaw, than when you criticize them and constantly remind them about that flaw. When you are constantly telling somebody, see your head, just be like pillar. It may be joke, maybe a mockery, but humans, we have emotions. So But when you love the person wholeheartedly, to reach a point that you not even notice that this person's head is like this or stuff. And if it's a character or a habit, when you love them like beautifully, you love and appreciate their presence, you love and appreciate your communication, your relationship, your intimacy, your bond. You see the person, on the person's own or on her own or on his own. You see them trying, trying to be like adjust themselves. Yes, as humans, you can't just automatically change somebody, but gradually the person can adjust. And the best way to do that is in love. Believe me, is in love. That's when you reprimand somebody, it's like the person will just hit you. You see that you see that sound trending on TikTok. I just stand so I just hate you. So when you reprimand somebody, the person may hate you, but when you correct them in love, they realize either their mistake or they realize how to change gradually, or gradually they will change. Or when you accept them, see, acceptance is like one of the major bases of a relationship. When you accept somebody, Jesus, that means it's like this is me, this is you. We are different, but this is a relationship. So it's a two-way thing. Both of us have to make it work. And when you accept the person, regardless of your differences, the person accepts you, regardless of your differences. Tell me, why won't it work? Now, just like two persons from different areas or different countries or different tribes coming together. Why? Because of love. So now love is that binding factor. And now, secondary to the love, they now accept themselves. Then that's when they now realize that we are not much different. It's probably just either our language or something, but we are not much different. That's how we are humans. When you keep reprimanding some people, when you keep discriminating some people or some area or some tribes, or racially, or just different ways you criticize people, when you accept, like choose to accept them, that's when love comes in. Then acceptance, that's when you realize we are not much different. We all have skin, we all created the same way, and we all one day turn to dust. So that's just how it is. Accept each other's quirks, and unique qualities. Avoid trying to change them to fit your ideal. Another mistake is not prioritizing quality time. That's another mistake about relationship. Not prioritizing quality time. With busy schedules, it's easy to neglect quality time with your partner. So make time for regular date nights, make time for fun activities, for game nights, just simply enjoying each other's company. You understand? When you don't prioritize quality time, when you just focus on yourself, focus on your work, focus on your career, focus on this and that, forgetting that it's your relationship first. No matter what you're doing, it's your relationship first, because now, excuse me, because now you're no longer single. Now you're not living for yourself. You're living for your partner, or you're living for your family. You understand? So they should come first before yourself. So prioritize quality time. Schedule date nights, schedule beach days or beach evenings or beach noons. Fun times you should just have with your partner. Basically enjoying each other's company. It will boost intimacy. It will boost an open and honest communication. It's open a safe space for each person to reveal, to tell their desires. Everything you get. So prioritize quality time, and not prioritizing quality time is another mistake you should avoid. Like I mentioned earlier, so I tell you the mistakes. I just like giving the solution as well. So I don't have to say the solution again. You understand? Another mistake is not communicating your needs. Now, needs could be physical needs could be spiritual needs, could be sexual needs, could be psychological needs. You shouldn't just assume that your partner should just know what you want. You shouldn't just assume. You understand? You should communicate. That's why you have mouth. Your mouth is to talk. Your mouth is to speak. So you shouldn't just assume that if you just look at the person will understand. Or if you just give the person thumbs up, the person will understand. It's a relationship. Yeah, it's not a game. It's not a gang. It's not a game that you guys be like. You understand that kind of peace. So communicate. Communicate your needs. Don't assume your partner knows what you need. Communicate your desires. Communicate your boundaries. Communicate your expectations clearly and respectfully. You get. You shouldn't just assume or imagine or just feel the person will get you or your partner will understand you without you communicating or letting them know how you feel or letting them know your desires. So communication is essential, and not communicating your needs is another mistake that you should avoid. Is another mistake that you should discipline yourself. Needs, so I mentioned needs because needs are very essential. So when you need something and you know on and on or times you need something like this or things like this, communicate them to your partner or communicate them with your partner, so you don't allow them or leave them guessing or just having the feeling that they already know what to do. No, now it's a relationship, it's a journey, so sometimes it's a learning process as well. So communicate your needs. And that mistake is not respecting each other's independence. Now, in a relationship, yeah, a relationship fosters oneness and a relationship fosters dependency on a beautiful skill. But then you have to still maintain your individuality. You have to still maintain your personality. And even though you guys are in a relationship, you guys have personal needs, you guys have personal interests. So avoid codependency and respect each other's need, either for alone time and personal growth. Because as a in a relationship, it's not all the time that you guys would have to, like, talk about yourselves. Sometimes prioritize individual growth, because when you prioritize individual growth or personal growth, you are also prioritizing your relationship. Because when you become the better version of yourself, it will still profit your partner. When your partner becomes the better version of themselves, it will still what did I even say? It will still be beneficial to your partner, or rather, your partner will still profit from it. So, in a relationship, maintain your individuality and personal interest. Avoid codependency and respect each other's need for alone time and personal growth. Definitely, there'll be times that your partner will just want to stay alone. Definitely, there'll be times that your partner just want to be, on her vibe or on his vibe. Just have like alone time to themselves, either to pray, either to meditate, either to think through, either to write down budgets or write down their schedules and stuff. So at that moment, give them that time. We are humans. We are first ourselves before we are lovers. We are first ourselves before we go in a relationship. So there'll be times that we also want to check on ourselves, want to self meditate, want to self reflect. So at those times, allow your partner self reflect, allow your partner self meditate, allow your partner go through self care also. Even though in a relationship, your partner comes before you, or is your partner before yourself, but allow your partner also go through um, self care and self reflection also. So respect each other's independence, not respecting each other's independence. That's a common mistake. Another mistake is not showing emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is more important than your intelligence. That is your IQ, your intelligence quotient when it comes to your relationship. You should prioritize, you know, empathy. You should prioritize understanding your partner. Yeah, you should be aware of your partner's emotions. You should be aware of your emotions as well. So practice empathy, practice active listening, and do well to activate. What is activate? Sorry, validate each other's feelings. Whenever your partner tells you, "Babe, I'm not good with this," or "Sweetheart, I don't really like this," you shouldn't just come all out that, "Why won't you like it? This is me." Mm-mm. You should understand where they're coming from, and you should see reasons, to giving in. You should see reasons to understanding why they say they don't like it. You understand? Their feelings are valid. In a relationship, your partner's feelings is valid. So allow them air their view. Be an active listener whilst they're airing their view, and then validate each other's feelings. When your partner comes to you and tells you, "Bunny, honey, sweetheart, babe, see you, this the way this thing is, I don't really like, can we understand why she's saying so? Understand why he's saying so or suggesting so." You understand? Their feelings are valid. Even if you feel they are wrong, their feelings are valid. So allow them, validate their feelings, and you guys should come to an understanding. That's where empathy comes in. That's where emotional intelligence comes in. So be aware of your emotions and your partners. Practice empathy, active listening, and validate each other's feelings, no matter the scenario. There'll be times that one person will feel different from the other. There'll be times that your agreement or your disagreement on something will be different, while there'll be other times that both of you will come to a conclusion or an agreement. So the times that you guys are not on an agreement, recognize that your feelings are valid. Now, I answered the question about love and relationship, how to keep the spark in a relationship alive. Then me, I was like, I'm not a huge fan of all those spark, because if you keep looking for spark, you may not enjoy the moments of a relationship, because you keep looking for things that will just spice up, that will just say, yay, this is explicit, yay, this stands out. You may lose sight of your partner. You may lose sight of the moments you have to spend with your partner. Understand? But then another common mistake to avoid in relationship is not keeping the spark alive. So in as much as I wouldn't say you should be a Shazam or God of War or Zeus, something like that as the spark, but then make an effort to keep the romance and excitement alive. That's why I see some relationship, especially with married people. And like I said, this basis of all our sessions are based on serious things, not all this fling or stuff. Serious relationship. That's why I see that people in serious relationships or marriages, when there is no constant romance, the relationship may not be happy. Either of the spouse will not be happy. When there's no constant either sex in marriage relationships or that constant, sometimes you just have to be intimate with yourself. It's not a must that you must have, sex to be intimate. So when there's no romance, how will the relationship be alive? So keep the spark. Make an effort to keep the romance and excitement alive. Make an effort to go out, couple dates, date either couple dates with your friends or vacations or mini travels or mini walks or mini strolls, night strolls, just you and your partner. Keep the spark alive. You know how the spark was when you fell for her or when you fell for him or when the relationship started. Keep that spark alive. You get me? Surprise each other. Plan adventures and engage in activities that bring joy and laughter. Engage in activities that make you happy, that makes your partner happy, that makes you laugh. Because the more you laugh, the more you would want to live. Now, there's a difference between being, how would I explain it now? There's a difference between going through life and living a life, or going through your life and living your life. When you laugh more, you'll be able to live your life than just go through life. Going through life is some more challenges come. The good going gets good, you're just going. But when you are living, you are experiencing life, you are going through life and allow life go through you also. Just like then our parents tell us, pass through the school and allow the school pass through you. So you are enjoying the moment, you are enjoying the experiences, you are getting a hold of life, the fun moments, the fun times. Just as you do that with your life, do that in your relationship also. Surprise each other, plan adventures, engage in activities that brings joy and laughter. So another common mistake is not keeping the spark alive. That's another common mistake you should avoid. So being mindful of these mistakes, you can nurture a strong, loving, and fulfilling relationship that brings happiness and growth to both partners. And by avoiding these common mistakes, you will cultivate a relationship that's nourishing, supportive, filled with love, laughter, and adventure. Remember, I'll take notes. Relationships are, I give you a story about a garden. When you don't nurture a garden, when you don't trim the thorns, how the garden become beautiful, how the flowers beneath. So your relationships are like garden. You have to nurture them. They require care. They require constant attention. How a gardener dedicates to trimming the flowers, taking out the thorns, don't want to see any dirt. That's how you have to prioritize your relationship also. With care, with attention and dedication, so that a relationship will flourish. Because if a relationship flourishes, you will flourish. Because when the home is happy, when there's joy at home, when you're at work, you just be smiling. Because when you go back home, you're meeting the love of your life, you're meeting the person that makes your day, you're meeting the person that makes your life very happy. You get. So prioritize care, attention, and dedication to your partner, just as a gardener you prioritize dedication to his flowers. Normal no. Hello, hi. How are you doing? You're welcome to live streaming daily. And we do this every day today is about love and relationship Wednesdays, and today we happen to be talking about common relationship mistakes to avoid. So if you're just joining, you are welcome, and thank you for coming around. You are welcome, no matter. Yeah. So a recap, because I think we have been able to hit the nail on the head. A recap of what we spoke about: common relationship mistakes to avoid, and we define relationship in the context of love and romance. Where I said it refers to the emotional, intimate, and personal connection between two individuals who share deep affection and commitment to each other. And I said it encompasses emotional bonding, intimacy, communication, mental, mutual support, trust, compromise, and teamwork. Collaborative problem solving and finding common ground. That is relationship. There has to is a teamwork, is a partnership. There has to be a collaborative agreement. We are in this together. We are solving this problem together and finding a common ground. So I also mentioned emotional intelligence, then love, which supersedes of things. And I said mistakes are errors of thoughts, unintentional acts or decisions, wrong choices or judgments, depending on the situation, unsuccessful attempts or failures. And one of the best ways, like I said, if you fail at something, don't call yourself a failure. And instead of calling that thing a failure, you can just call it unsuccessful attempt. You know why? Because there will be other attempts you will try, and there will be other attempts that will be successful. It's just like when you scratch a card, if you then bottle of Coke or Fanta, if you open the bottle cover, you will see some codes that if you load them, you may win airtime or money prizes or stuff. And sometimes they'll tell you try again. So if you see failures like that, when you don't get it, it's an unsuccessful attempt. So there are other attempts that you try and be successful. So yeah, I spoke about some mistakes in relationship to avoid, which are lack of communication, unresolved conflicts, unrealistic expectations, neglecting intimacy, not respecting boundaries, not embracing growth, whatnot. That's it. Then I said not keeping the spark alive, not showing emotional intelligence. So yeah, one thing you should realize that in a relationship, when it comes to love, it cannot be all rosy, it cannot be all light, it cannot be all shiny, it cannot be all glittering. There will be times that it look messy, there will be times that it may be dirty, there will be times that it may be appalling. But now you should know it's love and it's a relationship. So it's a two-way thing, and your relationship first before yourself. So you should know that avoiding such mistakes sometimes are inevitable. Sometimes mistakes are bound to happen because we are humans. But learning through and growing through your relationship will help through your mistakes will help your marriage and your relationship. Cultivate a relationship that is nourishing, supportive, and filled with love, laughter, and adventure. And remember, relationships are a beautiful garden that requires care, attention, and dedication to flourish. And that brings us to the end of today's session. If you've been with us from the beginning to right now, come on, I appreciate you. Bless up. And if it's night where you are, it's night where I am. Have a good night, have a pleasant night. Sleep beautifully, sleep like a baby, and wake up healthy and strong like a giant. If it's day where you are, have a pleasant day, have a beautiful day. Make declarations on how you want your day to be. Me, I pray for you, have a beautiful day. Have a day filled with good news, go out and succeed, go out and excel, go out and be the better version of yourself. If it's afternoon where you are, don't worry, have a calm noon, and don't forget to stay hydrated. And we've come to the end of today's session on love and relationship, which is a subtopic, common relationship mistakes to avoid. And we've come to the end of today's session in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So yeah, this is live streaming daily to I blog, and I can't do this without you guys. So I would love you guys to come every day. Like, give the video a like if you are enjoying the video. If you're learning a thing or two, drop a like, and also share to your friends, your family, to your loved ones. Tomorrow is Thursday, and tomorrow is family. So there are things we need to learn about family. Just come, learn some things about family, and very soon we'll all be starting our families or starting family for ourselves also. So just as we've learned about relationship and common mistakes or relationship mistakes to avoid, when starting your family also, there are some things you need to learn, there are some things you need to know. And even in your family right now, that is your parents, That's some things they would have done that you yourself that can teach them on how to adjust or refrain from such things that they feel are right, meanwhile they're not right. So yeah, thank you for being with me today. See you guys tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Family. Thank you. Bless up. This is live streaming daily TR blog, and it's your boy Koda. You know the vibes. See you tomorrow. Peace. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Stay grateful. Love your loved ones. Love your family. Love your friends. And don't forget, mistakes are bound to happen. But then it's how you manage these mistakes that will determine what would happen. And learning through the mistakes will give your relationship, a beautiful vibe, and you have a successful relationship. See you tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. I love you guys. Say it back. Yeah, I love you. Bless up. Peace out. It's your boy Koda. Yes, and you know the vibes. All right, we out. See you tomorrow, 8 p.m.